Now, to commence our Colonial Day, we have a very special presentation by the Sons of the American Revolution.
As you can see, they let the oldest man hold the mic. My name is Tom Whitelock. I've come here to Providence near probably 10 years in running. Many of the collection items down here, donations from our chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. We're very honored to be asked to come and present a little history of our flags in the founding of our nation. And we're very proud to be a part of this organization's honoring of our history, especially the ones that have outfits that fit them. As you can see, mine's a little saggy over the years. I carry with me the history of the Bedford flag, which is this red cavalry flag. It's smaller and was used by the cavalry early in the Indian Wars, French and Indian Wars, because that way the wind wouldn't blow the carrier on the horseman who carried it off of his horse. But it's also very unique. It is the oldest complete flag that we have on display in this nation. It is displayed in the library at Bedford, Massachusetts. And while Ben Franklin passes in front of me, looking for the restroom, it's outside with a little moon on it. Anyway, he's showing you the front and the back of the Bedford because it is unique, it is two-sided. And it also has a different image, even though it looks the same. The sword is in front of the ribbon on one side and behind on the other. The motto on it says, "Conquer or die." It is the flag that was carried and guarded by the Nathaniel Page family in Bedford. And he, in turn, carried it for a number of years and passed it down to his family. You notice that it has a little fringe around the edge. The real Bedford that is on display no longer carries that fringe because Nathaniel's granddaughter snuck in one day where it was guarded and hidden in the attic and ripped the fringe off so that she could display it or put it on a military ball dress that she was creating. Many years later, 1876, she bewailed the fact that she had done that she had destroyed a part of history. But in any case, the rest of the flag is still intact in Bedford. This flag here, I researched and saw what was created in the flag of the original, the damask material, and the images. And this is a proud part of my family in the fact that I did the research, got the materials, my sister did all the artwork, my mother did the seamstry and the sewing, and I think that justly proud, I'll keep it until they pass away, probably in about an hour. The gentlemen that you are now going to hear from are members of various chapters in the surrounding area of Sons of the American Revolution, and they will describe the flags that they carry and a little of their history and about their patriot. The primary chapter here today is Dallas chapter, but we do have Bill Covington somewhere around here, probably way down at the end, close to the bar. And he is a member of the Arlington chapter. We have over 3,000 members in the Texas area and 30,000 in the nation and international. So let me first introduce our president and district vice president, Mr. Tom Van Fossen, who is right here with his musket, and yes, that's his real hair, and on the back side is the wig.
Robert Gensel, please display your colors.
This is the George Washington Commander-in-Chief flag. Wherever it rested during the American Revolution, there was George Washington. And these, oh, yes. All blue with the stars here. Now, these stars are a little bit different from what you're used to seeing on the American flag. These are spires. There are 6 of them. And so, and the pattern is 3. What is the pattern? 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Valley to the signify the 13 colonies in that time. There were even states were all colonies. Anyway, that's basically it. George Washington, Commander-in-Chief flag.
Thank you, Robert. Jerry Pinkerton, tell us about your flag.
Thank you. Do anyone here know which flag this might be? Yes. And do we know who designed this flag? Okay. That's what it is called, the Betsy Ross flag. And because you got it, I have a little token for you from our chapter. It identifies you as having been a recipient of something from our chapter. Okay, the history behind this follows the George Washington ensign. George Washington met with Betsy, and they talked about the design of the flag. And during that discussion, they said, rather than the 3-2-3-2-3 design for the stars, they came up with a circle. But she was a seamstress and had done lots of sewing of flags, and she convinced him that a 5-pointed star can be cut with, if you fold the cloth properly, you can cut a 5-pointed star with just swish, swish, and you'll have your star, rather than individually having to make the other stars. So that's the history behind this. You can see it has the circle. And of course it has the alternating red and white stripes that we're all familiar with. Initially, they were going to add a stripe and a star for new states. But after they got to 15 and then 18, they said, this is not going to work. So we went back to the 13 stripes and 1 star in the blue field.
Mark Harrison, tell us about your flag.
Thank you, Mr. President. The flag I bring today
Bunker Hill flag. Does anybody else know what battle this really represents? And it's not Bunker Hill. It's one of the great mysteries of the war. The battle took place just outside of Boston. I see we have the Boston group over here. It was actually the first major battle of the war after Lexington and Concord, which took place on June 17, 1775. The flag itself was done after the battle, and it's used to commemorate the battle. The monument is actually built on Bunker Hill. It's known as the Battle of Bunker Hill. Most of the fighting actually occurred on a nearby hill called Breed's Hill. So why Breed's Hill didn't get the credit for it is a great mystery. So this was actually a defeat for the Americans. The Americans snuck up on the hill, built a small fort. After on the third charge by the British trying to push them off, they were able to finally force them off. But it was so important because, first of all, the British lost a lot more men than the Americans did. It really hurt their efforts. But also, it convinced the British that the Americans could fight and would fight, and convinced the Americans that they could do it.
Well, that's going to conclude what we're going to talk about. Our flags will join you in the courtyard later. If anybody wants to take a picture of us with the flags or with one of the muskets. I would also like to introduce Bill Covington. You've seen him here for many years. He's got great displays about the Revolution. This is Brent Harshman. He's one of our corporals who's carrying a musket. We have J.D. Martin right behind me. He's also carrying it. Everyone here has a lineage, ancestor to the Revolution. That someone in our family either fought or supported the fight for freedom. Be proud of your family. Look into your history. And we have an organization you might be interested in. It's called the Children of the American Revolution. And we'd love to talk to you about it. So invite us back.
So that you can get a little more history on the Bradford. I have handouts here on the top of the stage that you can pick up during the morning and take back and study, or to take to your classes. We thank you very much for inviting us again. We hope to see you in many years in advance, and by that time, maybe those that are standing in the colorful outfits will have learned that it's Breed's Hill, not Bunker Hill. Thank you.